Hello there. Thanks for joining me again, and if you're new to my channel, this is all about expressive painting. I love painting. It's about loosening up, letting go, and painting from your soul, really. Today I'm painting some flowers. I love flowers, I love gardens. I was a garden photographer for many years, and it was just like being in heaven. So this painting came together very quickly. I can't say all my paintings do, but sometimes it's really worthwhile painting quickly, because if you set yourself a timer, for example, and you say, I have to finish this painting in an hour, say, or even less, half an hour, you stop thinking so much about it and you just get on with it. And very often that's the time when exciting things happen with your work. You won't fuss around with lines too much or messing around with marks. I always say to my students, make a mark and leave it. I don't always follow my own advice though. Anyway, enough of this talking. If you like this channel, please subscribe and tick the like box, and I love hearing from you, so please leave a comment. But let's get on with it, because we've got work to do. Well, it's not really work, is it? I love painting flowers, and I'm going to show you how to paint them very loosely. So I haven't really got anything particularly in mind, but I do want to get some colour on this board. This is a cradled board, which is where you have the wood glued onto a frame to keep it rigid, and I think they work quite well. I've put a couple of layers of gesso on this, and let's get going. I've got a thick brush, a little bit of colour to get started. So you could kind of visualise the sky. And as you know, or if you're new here, you maybe don't, but if you are one of my lovely subscribers, then you will know that I kind of mix things quite randomly, but it's after having lots of practice. I guess that's the key, is that, you know, I've painted for a long time, and so I can sort of stop thinking too much about what I'm doing. Okay, so I put a little bit in of a sky kind of thing going on here, and I want to, at the bottom, I want to get some really dark tones. So I'm going to mix a little bit of raw umber with that ultramarine blue, and you get this gorgeous dark grey. I think I'll try a tiny bit of yellow to make that a little bit greener. Isn't that a gorgeous colour? Oh, wow. Oh, I love it. So that's far too watery now, so I've not got enough paint going here. And I always say to my students, don't be mean with your paint, and look at me, I've hardly got any on my palette today. Let's see if that's a lovely dark colour. And I'm just going to get, it's got a bit thin, but that's okay because we can do lots of layers. Right, let's get in with some more of that. That's just the blue and a bit more brown. I do like it with that yellow in. I really like that. That's slightly different. That's not a problem. If you have different, slightly different colours, it adds depth to your painting. Okay. Oh, I can't think. No, I'm thinking. See, you're not supposed to think. You're supposed to just relax into it. So let's try and do that. Don't know how this is going to work, but let's just see. I like this limey yellow we've got going on here with that very dark background. Might lose all of that at some point soon, but let's just see what happens. Just lost all my colour there in one fell swoop, but I've got a lovely colour in its place, which is a sort of very deep purple, which is rather beautiful. So I'm going to put something down there, I think. Right, now, oof, I've made a big mistake there because I've got that purple on my yellow, and that doesn't make a very nice colour at all. Not at all. Right, let's get some tissue. And clear up as much of that as I can. And what was I doing? I was doing something in my head and I can't think what it was now. I'm going to get some of that. I want a nice screen. To watch that pink, it seems to be appearing in everything, which is not what I want at all. Oof, that pink. It wants to get in there. I don't want you there. Let's go back to that, I think. And the reason for that is that I am mixing this wet and wet, which can be a little bit tricky and does result in things mixing that you don't really want to mix. So I've got to be careful with that. And you can see, because we laid down this very dark tone here, it's made it easy for us to have a light flashing through it, like that. I quite like those really dark there. I'm going to put a little bit of that in there. I think we need another. And then, you know, you can just have a hint of something going on. It doesn't have to be. I like those. I like that. nice grey. I might use up here somewhere. To work out what to do here. I think I'd like some more raw umber and ultramarine blue. Don't want to do too much with this, but I do want to darken some of it down a bit. I really like what's going on down here. So I'm being quite careful here. I don't want to spoil those little marks that I've got that I really like. Let's get that a tiny bit lighter. Will that work? I'm not sure. Yeah, I've got a bit of that on my brush, so I'm going to wash it. Got to do something with this. So I want a darker green, and darker green is going to be that cadmium yellow with ultramarine. So I want that in here, I think. But I don't want, I mean, I could wait till it dries, but I quite like painting wet in wet because you get some really interesting things going on. So I'm using both sides of this funny little spatula that I love. Okay. What I do want is, I would quite like some stems, even if they're only really rough. And I think they will have to be quite rough, but just to get that sense of, that needs to be really dark. Just to get a sense of a flower going on. That's getting a bit too fussy. Don't like it. Let's get rid of that. The thing I like about this spatula is that the marks you can make are so loose and lovely. this thing's coming together really quickly. I think I'm feeling it's sort of working. Need to do something with this though, because it's a bit boring really, and I've just made that look green, so that's no good. Got green in my sky. I knew it couldn't last. Let's get some clean colour. Yeah. Let's get rid of that. So let's see what's going on. We've got some nice dark tonal values going on down here, and these all work very beautifully together as a sort of a quiet part of the painting. We get a little bit of life, a bit of light coming in down here, so differences in tonal values working there. Then we've got a little bit of a party going on here, I would say. Maybe those flowers are all too similar in size to these ones. I'm not sure I want to change them at this stage. We could maybe, I quite like all that energy, so do you know, I'm not going to do anything to that right now. And then we've got some stuff going on in the background, some trees. Maybe we need a bit more dark going in here, because that has lightened a bit, and I would do that with this colour here. Get that in just a little bit more, not too much, just get some feeling of kind of depth really, I guess, and also different not doing very right talking and painting today. Those marks are kind of a bit simmer actually, I'm not too happy about that. Let's get some more. Let's get some more green. Gosh, that pink really wants to get back in, doesn't it? Just put, and that just breaks it all up again, you see. Maybe a bit more. That lemony, olivey, whatever that colour is. whatever. Yeah, and use the other side. I'm just going to put some more, and then this bit here looks a little bit too all I can see is a sort of big yellow blob there, a yellow line kind of here, this bit here. So I've got enough clean paint here. I am going to do that. Does that work? Does it work? I might leave that to dry. I don't really, at the moment, I don't really want to do too much more to this because it's kind of working. Then there's maybe a bit of a funny bit here that needs to be sorted out. What was that colour? So what did I say? There was a bit that I didn't like here. Right, I'm going to leave it now because I know I'm going to spoil it, and at the moment I'm quite liking it. So, yeah. A rite of spring. Should we call it a rite of spring? Something like that anyway. Let it dry and have a look at it. Photograph it, and then, because when you photograph your work, you see it in a different light. You can spot mistakes much more easily. Look at it from a distance, and take it from there. So if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more, please like and subscribe. It really helps this channel. And then I'll be able to make lots more videos. And do drop a comment if there's anything that you want me to maybe explain or show you, or other ideas of things that you'd be interested in seeing me paint. Generally I paint flowers, landscapes, and occasionally some abstracts, but always in a loose, expressive way. Bye for now.